Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I am answering 35 Egyptian Arabic questions. Some of them may be personal questions, but let's do it anyway. So the first question is how to say they name call you so and so. So we have two ways to say that. We can say humma بيقولوا عليك, so they say on you, or they name you. هم مسميينك if you're speaking to a male. If you're speaking to a female, هم مسميينك, and then you say the name. The second question is, last time you said أنا عمري ما هنسكي. Why not مش هنسكي? How ma is used to negate sentences. Okay, so the normal way to negate is to say mish, but when you have a word before that, we say ma. For example, أنا عمري, meaning never in my whole life, ما هنساكي. Okay, I will never forget you. But if you want to say I won't forget you, just like that, أنا مش هنساكي. So whenever we add an extra word before, we just simply replace mish with ma. The next question says, please make a YouTube video on commonly asked questions. Okay, so here I have a list of common questions that I wrote in my notebook, and the questions are usually somewhat personal, okay? So the first question would be, are you married? أنت متجوز? If you're speaking to a female, أنتِ متجوزة? أنتِ متجوزة? Do you have children? عندك أولاد? Speaking to a female, عندك أولاد? The next question, what did you study? درست إيه? Speaking to a female, درستي إيه? Now the next question says how to handle sentences like I would, I could, I would have, I shall, has been. Okay, so in Arabic it isn't really that complicated. We have like one word for most of those things. So for example, if you wanted to say I would, well, in English the word would has many uses, but if you were saying something in the hypothetical sense, for example, if I had money, I would buy something, we just simply say أنا كنت اشتريت. So we say I was and then bought, okay? أنا كنت اشتريت. لو كان معايا فلوس أنا كنت اشتريت. I would have bought. Translated literally, I was bought. And the word could, we say ممكن, could have, كان ممكن, very simple. أنا كان ممكن أشتري. For example, I could have bought. أشتري is the second verb that always comes after the first, which is ممكن. I shall, just I will. We don't have that. Just say I will. Has been and have been, I have explained this one before. The word is بقالي. I have been. أنا بقالي. أنت بقالك. أنتِ بقالك. And so on, those endings. هو بقاله, هي بقالها, all of that have been, has been, depending on the person. The next question says, I somewhere, meme plus كلمة plus sheen. Find this form to negative, to negating and prohibiting. How we, now which function it, okay, this is kind of a messed up question, but I understand what it means. He's asking about the negative sandwich. I have a video about that, so you can find the link in the description below. It explains how we take the word mish, which means not, and we wrap it around the verb. We don't always do this. For example, we don't do it in the future. And also, if you do it in the future, it wouldn't really work. It would be wrong. So when you watch the video, you will learn exactly how this works. All right, let's go to the next part. What motivated you to start teaching Arabic? Okay, that's a pretty good question. So when I was in university, I was the person that my friends would always come to if they don't understand something. You know, like they would like me to simplify something for them, something they don't really understand. I would explain it to them. And then I used to do that all the time, almost every day, even over the phone. And to me, that was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed explaining things and simplifying things and taking out all of the extra information that is always in books and stuff that isn't really that useful if you're learning for the first time. By the way, I studied engineering. With teaching, after I finished university, most of my friends would always ask me to teach them English because they needed English for their work and whatever. So when they found out that I speak English very well, they would just ask me like, can you teach us? Can you do this and that? So I started teaching my friends English. And then after a while, I started working as an English teacher. And then I got really bored of teaching English. And now I decided to start teaching Arabic, which I did in 2016. The beginning of 2016, I made my first video and I started teaching and all of that stuff. It was really great, and that is what motivated me to teach, because I love teaching. The next one says, wish you lots of success. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. The next question says, make a video about vocabulary, how to expand your vocabulary. Okay, so I'm going to tell you what I personally do to expand my vocabulary. Number one, find a source that you enjoy, okay? It could be songs, could be a movie, it could be my videos on Instagram or YouTube. And then after you find the source, there is a way you should apply to remember those words. Everybody's brain works differently, but this is how I do it. Whenever I hear a new word, I always try to relate that word to a sound or a word that I already know in my language. Okay? So, for example, I'm learning Russian at the moment, and the word for want in Russian is хочу. Ya хочу, I want. So this word was, to my ears, it was so hard to remember. So the word хочу reminded me of the sound of a sneeze. Yeah, хочу. So now I will always remember the word because I connected the word to something already. I tied it up to the network in my brain. The sound of a sneeze is also the word want in Russian. Okay? So this is how I remember my words. Maybe for you, if that doesn't work, you can try something else. You can try to remember the word by using it inside a sentence with words that you already know. So if you're trying to learn want in Arabic, which is عاوز, or عايز, there is no difference, only difference in pronunciation. You say أنا عاوز تفاحة. And tufaha means apple. So if you know apple and you know ana, you can put عاوز in between and remember the sentence that way and say it 1,000,000 times, trying to listen to it. If you have a native speaker friend, try and get them to say it to you, and then that is how you remember a word and expand your vocabulary. The next question says meaning barsa. It's supposed to be bardo, I think, and this means also. Bardo. أنا برضو بحب التفاح. I also like apples. Now the next question says, what's the difference between إزاي and إشمعنى? Can you explain with example? شكرا. Okay, so إزاي and إشمعنى, they are not the same word. إزاي means how, إشمعنى means why. So the question should have been, what is the difference between إشمعنى and ليه, which means why. They both mean why, but ishmana is used in a situation where, for example, you have two brothers and one of the brothers gets something extra from the parents. Let's say the older brother gets to go outside, but the younger doesn't get to go out. The younger would always ask his parents, ishmana huwa yukhrug wa ana la. Why he goes out and I don't. So this is why we say ishmana, okay? But if I say ليه هو يخرج, it also means why does he go out, but it's asking like why is he actually going out? Is he going to do something? But when you say ishmana, this kind of means like why did he get it and why didn't I get it? Good. So the next question says, what's your favorite Egyptian slang you use every day? I would say ishta. Ishta means cream, literally. But we use this word to say okay, to say yes, to say good, and sometimes we use it to say just make sounds in between sentences and stuff like that. People overuse it sometimes, and so do I. Ishta. Now the next question says, oh, it's not a question, it's actually written in Russian, and it means hello, I think. Privyet. I know privyet means hello, but this one has an extra two letters. Privyetik. Okay, new word we learned now. The next question is, what is the use of yama? Okay, so the word yama is used when you want to describe something that you did so many times in the past. Okay, so let's say, for example, I warned you so many times of something. I would say, أنا ياما حذرتك. I always in the past warned you. أنا ياما حذرتك. Of course, we say this after the problem happens. Now the next question says, how can I improve my pronunciation in Egyptian Arabic? That is a very good question. So if you're trying to improve your pronunciation, what you need to do is first learn the letters. Learn the letter and learn their sounds with the mouth movements. Why do I say mouth movements? Because the way you move your mouth is going to affect how the rest of the word sounds, okay? So if you don't move your mouth right, the rest of the words are just going to sound, the rest of the letters are going to sound completely wrong. So let me give you an example about mouth movements. In Arabic, we have two S sounds. S, like in English, S. We have sin and sad. You see how my mouth moved differently? For the first one, you saw my teeth. Sin. But for the second, saw. Sin. Saw. So now think with me. If I start my word saying saw, what about the next letter? My mouth is in a certain position, so for the next letter, it's going to sound different. So that is why you need to know how the mouth is supposed to move for this sound, for this letter. And that is why you should learn the letters. And if you want to learn the letters, I have a course that teaches you the letters in 7 days with the pronunciation for Standard Arabic and Egyptian. Link in the description below. The next question says, how do you say I speak Arabic? I must speak Arabic. So, أنا بتكلم عربي. أنا بتكلم عربي. I speak Arabic. I must speak Arabic is أنا لازم أتكلم عربي. The second verb with أنا starts with ألف. I have a video about this in the description. What does فعلا mean? فعلا means indeed. So, أنا فعلا كلمته, which is more of a confirmation of what you did. أنت كلمته? Did you talk to him? أيوة أنا فعلا كلمته. Yes, I actually spoke to him. I indeed spoke to him. Now the next question says, after all these days, years, for example, how could we do this to me? How could you do this to me after all these days? بعد, after. كل, all. السنين دي, after all these years. بعد كل السنين دي. Very easy. The next question, is it right that with people we use مع, which is with, and with food we use ب? What does that even mean? What do you mean with food and with people? Let me tell you the difference between مع and ب. They both mean with, but the word مع means together, together with somebody, with a person somewhere, or with an animal, with anything, okay? But ب is when you use the item. For example, أنا خرجت مع صاحبي. I went out with my friend, together. But if you want to say I eat with a fork, أنا باكل بالشوكة. 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 So this means I eat with a fork. That is the difference between مع and ب. Okay, now this is a very interesting question. Have you ever learned Bahasa Indonesia? No, I never tried to learn it. If you had asked me maybe 5 years ago, what is the language in Indonesia, I would have told you Indonesian. I really didn't know about this language, and it seems interesting. So, no, I have never learned Indonesian or Bahasa Indonesia. The next question says, what's mean أنا مش طاينة? I don't sure. So this word is not clear also because the spelling isn't even correct in Arabic or English, I don't know. So let's skip that one. The next one is, I need help with verbs in general. Okay, so I have a playlist on my YouTube channel. It's specifically for verb conjugations. It teaches you how the present works, how the past works, and the future. And we only have 3 tenses in Arabic. Okay, and this one says, what's mean ma'alish? Ma'alish is when something bad happens to somebody and you tell them there. Ma'alish, ma'alish. Now the next question says, how to say friend in Arabic. Okay, we have the feminine friend and the masculine friend. So for masculine, we say sahib. And for feminine, we just add ta marbuta at the end, which is sahba. Now the next question is very interesting. What is robabikya? Okay, so this is actually an Italian word, and it means old stuff. If you go to Google Translate and you say, using your voice, say Rovavecchia or something like that, it's going to translate to old stuff. And I'm showing you right now, if you go, it will be old stuff. So in Egypt, the people who walk around the streets and they take your old stuff, they go Rovavecchia in the street. And if you have something old, you want to get rid of it, it's taking up some space, just go and give it to that person. What do they do with it? I think they go sell it for cheap or they melt it for raw material. You never know, it depends on what you gave them. Now the next question says, Ana mali. Ana mali is like, what is it to me? So for example, when you ask somebody, like, can you come and help me do this thing? ممكن تيجي تساعدني في الموضوع ده؟ أنا مالي. Like, what is it to me? It's not my concern, okay? Now the next question says, difference between astanna, mistanni, why we used meme. Okay, so when you say istanna, this means you're telling someone to wait. It's the imperative, wait. Istanna to a male, istanni to a female, but mistanni, this is the adjective. He is waiting, that is his state. So ana mistanni min zaman. I am waiting, or I've been waiting for a long time. That is the difference. What's the difference between alashan and ashan? There is no difference. We just skip it when we're speaking quickly. Lam is just skipped like that. The next question says, you have told so many times, but I still don't get the meaning of ba'a. Give at least 3 or 4 examples for its meaning. 3 or 4 examples? Really? Okay, as I said before, ba'a means nothing, okay? It just gives emphasis. So, for example, you told somebody, okay, let's go, and they still take a long time to get ready or anything. You say, yalla ba'a. So we say, yalla first, let's go, and then you say, yalla ba'a, just to show emphasis, right? There's another word, which is yib'a, which sounds very similar, and it means to become. Okay, so if you say الموضوع بقى صعب, this means the topic became difficult, right? So this is another meaning for بقى. The next question says, how is بلاش used in sentences? Okay, so بلاش can have some meanings. The most common meaning is that there is no need for something like this. So for example, تحب تاخد فلوس? Would you like to take some money? لا بلاش. Like, no need. If you already have money in your pocket and you're going outside. So لا بلاش, مش محتاج. No need. How do I say part of my family is Egyptian? So part is جزء. My family is عيلتي, Egyptian. جزء من عيلتي مصري. من means from. Part of my family. جزء من عيلتي مصري. Very simple. The next question says, at home or in the park, etc. How it works in Egyptian. In, at, etc. أنا في البيت وأنا على الحفلة. What is that? Or في also. So in Arabic, in and on is used, I think it's similar to English. So I wrote here a bunch of examples. I'm going to tell you those examples. Okay, so in English, in and at can be used in two different things, which is in time or in place. For example, in October, in December, in 1990 something, or you can say in a house, in the car. So it's used for time and place, the same with on and at. So in Arabic, it's the same also. You can use it for time and place. So the first example using in. So if you wanted to say in October in Arabic, we would say في October. In the morning, we would say il subh without fi. So is subh. So when it's the time of day, we just say the time right away without in. For place, if you say in Egypt, you say في مصر, or في أوضتي, in my room, في البيت, in the home, inside of it, okay? If you wanted to say on Friday, like on a day, we say just الجمعة. So when it's a day, we just don't add anything. On my birthday, we say يوم عيد ميلادي. If you wanted to say now on the table, we would say على. So when something is on top of the table, we say على الترابيزة. If you're on the way, we say أنا على الطريق. أنا على الطريق. On the way to something. If you want to say at 7, we say الساعة 7, no at. If you want to say I am at the office, we use in the office. So أنا في المكتب. And then that's it basically. Now the next question says, what music do you listen to? Well, there is nothing specific that I listen to, but I don't like to listen to Arabic songs because they are all about the same thing. They're all about heartbreak, okay? So the guy loved the girl and then she left him, and then heartbreak, and it's too much drama. I just don't like it. Now this question says illa and sahih at the beginning of the sentence. So sahih is like right, when you remember something, like sahih, هو أنت اسمك blah blah blah, هو أنت اسمك كذا كذا كذا, like right, is your name no. And illa is also the same, use the same. إلا أنت اسمك no. It's like, is it true or right or something like that, okay? That's a very good question. Now the next one says telling jokes in Egyptian Arabic. I don't really have a joke right now, so maybe next time. Now this is a good question. Is there any case when I can use the simple imperfect form without a modal or condition? Okay, so what does that mean, first of all? I think it's the second verb, what they're talking about. So for the second verb, we can use it after the first verb. So if there's a first verb, which is a normal one, like when you say I like to eat is the second verb after like. So in Arabic we say أنا بحب آكل. The verbs always begin with be when it's the present tense, but if it's the second verb, it doesn't begin with be, right? So the first verb can be a normal verb, it can be a modal. What is a modal verb? It's can, could, should, and all those things. In Arabic, if you say ممكن, which means could, أنا ممكن آكل الساعة 6:30. I could eat, or I can eat, at 6:30 because it's Ramadan, for example. So after the modals, yes, we use it. After the first verb, if it's any verb, we use it. And in other cases as well, we use that different form, the second verb. When I'm teaching those things, I don't like to use those hard words, the imperfect and all that stuff. I just tell you it's the second verb in the sentence, which is easier. Thank you so much for watching. Those were all the questions. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe and to share this video with anybody who's interested in learning Egyptian Arabic. Thank you and have a good day.